Not even Xena is a match for the limited edition double-edged lightsaber from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
You removed it from its original packaging.
No! It's no longer a collectible! Oh!
What a nerd.
I bet my Wookiees.
Well, Scotty, now you've done it.
Aye, the haggis is in the fire for sure. But I'll not lower my defenses on the word of that mealy-mouthed gentleman down below. Not until I know what happened to the captain. Computer. Hello, computer.
Just use the keyboard.
Hello there. Good morning, everyone. Or no matter where you are in the world. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Let's see. Let's get the camera back on. Right, if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know you're in here. It's a little bit off the cuff this morning. Just waking up. Going to have a nice chill day, I think. A little bit different, obviously. We usually do these on Monday evenings, and we talk about the expanded universe, Star Wars, the true canon, lore and continuity of George Lucas era. I thought it'd be good to come on just for a little bit and maybe get the attention of some people that might not usually be on my streams at that time or be aware of it. So if you're a big fan of George Lucas era Star Wars, I recommend coming along for that. You'll get to chat to loads of other content creators and great people that are always in the chat and sharing their knowledge of the lore, so it's really great. Just let me know what you're up to today. Let me know your favorite Star Wars novel, anything like that. Hey, Narrow Dark's in the chat. 9:30 p.m. What time is it here? I can't even see. Wait, what's this? I've got something here that might let me know. I just got coffee on the screen. It's 10:30 a.m. here in Scotland, so good to see you, Narrow Dark. I'm trying to think. So is it already? It'll still be Saturday night for you then, is that right? No, you're in the future. You're in the future. It's Sunday evening for you. Let me know. I actually don't know how that works. I know that like over in America, it's usually about 5 or 6 hours behind. Saturday night, right? So right, that makes more sense. That makes more sense how you are able to make like my Monday streams like in the evening and stuff like that. That's cool. Are you making much more content than now, Narrow Dark? I know you've been doing the Legacy comics. I'm going to be jumping onto those after I do Cloak of Deception. I'm getting through it now. I've managed to find some time to read it, so I'm going to do a history of and review video for that, and then I'm going to be reading Legacy, and then obviously I want to do a video with you on that, so, or a live stream, should I say. Are you up to much today? I'm just trying to chill for a bit because I think I'm going out with Mrs. Scran, out for a walk somewhere. So it's funny, she's away getting ready, and I can hear she's listening to Purist's stream that he did with Theory. Need to get back into Legacy. It will be changing the way I cover them. All right, cool. I mean, I do like the way you do it, and it's good. Like, it's obvious that you've read them. You know, that's always a good thing. But yeah, because was it yesterday morning? I woke up at 5 a.m. and that's usually when Purist streams are kind of ending for me. So like, I'll always listen to the replays at work. And then basically I was like, oh, hello chat, how's it going? And he's like, oh, Theory was just in chat trying to disrupt the stream and whatever. I was like, oh no. And then he manages to get, well, Theory came on basically. You've probably seen it. And then they had their debate or whatever. And then I watched the full replay I listened to it while I was working. And then Purist obviously uploaded the stream again. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I had Mrs. Scran watching it this morning. She's still watching it, so pardon me, we're slowly turning her to the dark side. It's funny because she doesn't like Disney Star Wars, but she's a bit more lenient with people that do. Didn't watch the stream of Theory yet. Dude, it's funny. It's pretty funny. Because at first it's like, well, basically they were doing the Dark Tide Onslaught, they were covering that, and Theory's like in the chat saying like, oh, you've got what you wanted, like I'm here, I've sent you a link and whatever. And he's like, dude, I'm in the middle of a stream with like 3 other guests that have like given up their time to be here. Like I'm not just gonna drop it so I can talk to you. So like an hour or so goes by and they all leave, and then he brings Theory on. And yeah, they talked about quite a lot of stuff. Like at first Theory was a bit more I mean, I guess Purist has been doing like the tweets and the videos, but all with good reason, you know. It all kind of boils down to the way that Theory's been treating George Lucas era Star Wars, relegating it to ghostwriters while he like claims to have no free time to cover it. But he was just at Disney World, paid for all his team to go to Disney World, Galaxy's Edge. You know, he's selling lightsabers, and then he'll act like he's not all about like making money off that stuff, but that's all he seems to be doing. Anyway, this isn't a stream to rant about that. It was a funny stream anyway. I just think it's funny that the missus is getting really into it. But yeah, we've got Narrow Dark hanging out in chat. Anyone else in here I want to say hello, that'd be cool. It'd be nice to chat with some folk that maybe normally aren't in the streams, so I probably won't be on for too long. I just was a bit bored this morning. I was thinking about maybe doing a video like showcasing like my wee display back here. I know you always see it in the background. Got a couple things I want to do. Obviously the Cloak of Deception video. I think not to toot my own horn, I think the last few videos I've done have been some of the best on the channel, and people seem to be appreciating them, so that's pretty good. This is like the first time I've come on here without a script or anything, just hanging out. Oh, there's Raging Rhino in chat. Raging Rhino came into my stream, the chat, a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to like I said he was one of my favorite channels, but I forgot to say subscribe. So anyone watching this back, go subscribe to Raging Rhino. What's he saying here? He says, "Oh, it'd help if I could see actually." I started watching the premiere Justin put out. Is that from a stream? Yeah, Rhino. So you know the pure unadulterated streams he does. I know you did his Plagueis one with him, the first one actually. They were doing Dark Tide Onslaught from the New Jedi Order. And that's when he came in. This seems to be a good time for the Australians to pop in. That's cool. I watched it and then I rewatched it, and now the missus is watching it. So giving them the views, you know, try and boost that algorithm. But in my last stream, actually, I was you know, you sometimes feel a bit bad when you're just criticizing other channels. Not that that's all I do, but yeah, I felt like I should kind of shout out some of the better channels that I like watching, you know, Star Wars based channels, and obviously Raging Rhino was in there, so definitely your channel is definitely a big reason why I have a channel and that I do this, you know, and it's a lot of fun. Like before, it's only been like the past year and a bit I've been into Expanded Universe and absolutely loving it. It kind of got to the point where I just did not like care about Star Wars anymore. Like since then I've been up my parents' attic, getting all my stuff out, and it's awesome. No worries, man. And then obviously I'm a big fan of the United Spacers Alliance channel, and I've been back and I've rewatched all the streams, and a lot of your old critiques of Mandalorian and stuff like that. Like you were involved in a lot of that stuff, and it's really cool. There was one time Tim asked me to come on the channel, but like there was, first of all, I just started out and I had no idea how to operate this stuff. Like I've only just recently started using StreamYards, so I was just streaming on the YouTube app. I couldn't add any guests or anything, and then I had like crazy family stuff going on, so I couldn't make it on. And then he's no asked me back on, but he'll joke and he'll say that I just didn't want to stream with him and stuff like that. And then the same happened with Matt Wilkins, which I'm really bummed about, because he came onto my stream after I was talking about the Ewok movies. And for anyone that's in chat that doesn't know, I'll grab them. The Ewok movies, this is pure George Lucas Star Wars. He was involved with them. He was on set. He directed reshoots and stuff like that. The second one's technically better, but I prefer the story to the first one. And so he came on and he's like, oh, I'd love to come on and chat to you and that. And I'm like, Matt, I'm so sorry. I'm a big fan, but I have no idea how to get you on here. So he's been joking ever since that I don't want to talk to him. But that was one thing I wanted to plug on this small stream, is just the Ewok movies, because I did it was Theory that said, someone asked him in his chat if he could do a watch party of the Ewok movies, and he's like, no, like no way, like just look down his nose at them like he does with everything else. And then I was like, right, well, I'm going to watch them for the first time, and I'm going to do a history of video, a review, and it was pretty fun. Like it was good. Oh, you're a fake fan, Narrow Dark. Watch them. The first one's funny because it's so low budget that all the creatures in it are like actual animals. Like there's like goats and ponies and lizards and stuff like that. I know in Return of the Jedi there was a couple like frogs and stuff, wasn't there? Hey, Andres Hernandez is in here. Why are you streaming on a not Monday? It's early morning here on Sunday. No, it's no Sunday, it's Saturday. Did I tell Narrow Dark it was Sunday today? I've been working early all week and finishing late, so everything's kind of blended together. I do woodwork for a living, and my hands are killing me. And I've got a wisdom tooth that's starting to like dig into my gum. No, I've not actually, Rhino. Thanks very much. I wasn't planning on being on too long. I didn't anticipate anyone coming in. I just was a bit bored, so I didn't really plan much to talk about. Oh, I keep getting off topic. The pure unadulterated Star Wars stream. The next book that he's doing is Dark Tide Ruin, which is the wait, I'm no John Getz. Didn't he get me confused? Aye, there is snakes, that's right. But what was I talking about? Oh, dude, it's too early. But yeah, Dark Tide Ruin, the Dark Tide duology. So I was on Purists one, the one he did for Vector Prime Part 1 and 2, and we promoted that. It was a lot of fun, and I think we've actually got quite a lot of hype going for the new Jedi Order. But I've just recently finished Ruin, so it's fresh in my mind. So I'm going to be on that stream with Purist and Matt Wilkins, and I think John Getz will be on there as well. But that's going to be really good. I'd say, like, when I was reading it, I thought Onslaught was better, but then when I did my review, I thought Dark Tide Ruin was a much better novel. Nah, like, it was weird because, well, I mean, Theory obviously knows who Rhino is. I think he knows who all of them are. But I think Purist has just been a bit, Purist's personality is a bit more like, not aggressive, but he kind of like prods, doesn't he? It's funny. So, and then Theory's been out there like asking all his mates about it and trying to find out more about him. It's just a bit odd. If it was me, I would just patch it, you know, ignore it. We can pretend this is Alora's calf chat. What's in your mugs? I'm just on the coffee this morning. If I was a true Scotsman, I'd have some whiskey in there. Nah, Rhino, I think because Purist, I'm pretty sure Purist brought up your name and Theory was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely is aware of the videos people make and what they say. And you're probably in similar circles in a way. Like, I assume you're like affiliated with people that he knows and stuff. It's mostly, I know Ryan Kinnell, obviously, is kind of in a bunch of different kind of groups, you know? But he actually popped onto the Vector Prime one, and I didn't know what to say. It was my first like proper live stream, and I just stayed quiet. So keep my mouth shut, let the experts talk. Anyone in chat, like, if you're relatively new to the EU, like I am, what's your favourite EU novel? I thought it was a fake AI deepfake, but I guess it's real. When are you going to invite Theory on stream, Scran? Never. I want to talk about real Star Wars. I don't want to talk about Disney Star Wars and Disney Sabers, you know? Zero interest. It's fun to expose it and make fun of some of the stuff he says, but like I said last stream, like I don't like coming across as malicious, so I might just keep to myself, you know. While you are thinking of your favourite EU novels, I always like an opportunity to pull out the Labyrinth of Evil. This was my first EU novel, and it had so much tie-ins to the movies, especially Revenge of the Sith. You know, it's for any naysayers, this is the prequel to Revenge of the Sith. Had involvement from George Lucas through Matthew Stover, who wrote the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Had meetings with George, stuff like that. He brought questionnaires from James Luceno for this novel, and this was commissioned to like do backstory for Grievous, stuff like that. Awesome novel, and it's part of the Dark Lord trilogy with Revenge of the Sith and the Dark Lord Rise of Darth Vader. I'd be very interested to see his reaction if he does actually mention my name. I think I'm going to EFAP it on Casual Rage. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, was it during the week I went back and I caught up on some of the streams I'd missed of yours. So, like your videos have like pretty good rewatchability, and I really like getting your input on things. Great book, but I think that trilogy of books gets better every book. Oh yeah, because I've only read so much of the. I read so much of the Revenge of the Sith one, and then because that was going to be my next history of video, and then Purist was like, save that one and do a different one, and then because I'm wanting to get loads of hype going for that and get people on stream and stuff. So, I'm doing Cloak of Deception, then I want to read the Legacy comics, and then after Shatterpoint, I'm going to be doing because hopefully by the time I finish Cloak of Deception, I will have finished Shatterpoint on stream, and then we can read the Darth Maul Shadowhunter. So hopefully that works out that way. And then I'd like to finish the Dark Lord trilogy. Andres says it's tough to pick. It's tough to pick since I'm kind of a newbie to the EU as well. I really like Shadows of the Empire and Return of the Sith novelization. Yeah, I've read Shadows of the Empire as well. That was a good one. Not my favorite, but it's not bad either. They made fun of your Cobra Kai takes. Oh, is that Rhino? Who made fun of them? We don't do that on this channel. Rhino's a staple. Oh yeah, I think Ryan Kinnell mentions Rhino at some point. Yeah, there's Theory definitely knows who all you guys are. like he seems like the kind of guy that acts like it doesn't phase him, but he's definitely aware. Like, remember when Melvin only had like 20 odd subs? That's when he was like, obviously I found Melvin after that, but that's when he was calling out Theory and Theory noticed. You know what I mean? He's definitely aware of what's being said. I just don't think he understands the he doesn't understand why the criticism is valid. You know. So yeah, I'd say Labyrinth of Evil is my favorite, followed up by I'll show them just for anyone in chat that might not have seen them. The Kenobi novel by John Jackson Miller. I don't know why some people don't like this book. This is a really good book. Hey, there's Steve Kenobi in chat. Speaking of, there he is on the front cover. I know Steve likes this book. I'm thinking, Steve, we've been looking for a topic to do a stream about. Maybe we could do a Cannon Bomb stream on Kenobi. I was actually thinking that the other day. We could do Kenobi, or we could do a different stream where I can just get you on and you can rant about Rogue One and how it destroys canon, because you've got a lot of good points on that. Right. Raging Rhino says, "Good day, Steve. Atrocious audiobook. It'd be good to get a Greg Hates Everything audiobook version. He reads the book. It's his favourite book, eh?" So I like Kenobi, and then you always feel like a noob when you say Plagueis is one of your favourites, but like you could genuinely read Plagueis without reading any other EU book, and it's really good. It's by Lucino as well. Like, out of what I've read, he's my favourite Star Wars author. Steeg saying hello. Narrow Dark says Kenobi shows up in the Legacy during the backstory of Darth Krayt. Oh, because Krayt's mentioned in. He's mentioned in the Kenobi novel, because he's got to do with like the Tusken Raiders and stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, plenty of references to the Clone Wars multimedia project. Yeah, like some people put that in the group of Clone Wars novels, like at the end, but nah, it's part of the trilogy. So those three I'd say are up there, top three: Labyrinth of Evil, Kenobi, and Plagueis. And then I've got a really soft spot for, if I can get right there, got a really soft spot for Courtship and Princess Leia. I absolutely loved that. Like, I didn't have any high expectations going into it, but doing the research for my history of video, I learned a lot about Dave Wolverton and like his oh dude, so early. Although my brain's like this on normal streams, it's either too early or too late. Influences, a lot of his influences for writing this book. Like, rest in peace. I would have loved to have met this author, because the concept of Han Solo like kidnapping Leia and taking her to Dathomir to fall in love with him again. That comes from, he got it from a movie called Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. It's like an old musical. It's one of my wife and I's favorite movies, and I thought that was really endearing, like where he got that, and it's got loads of nice romantic moments. That, like, this is where Dathomir and the Night Sisters come from. You know, this is the real Dave for Star Wars. Like, Dave Filoni steals from this dude and twists it and perverts it. So those are my top four, I guess. If I had to pick a fifth one, so far, like, Dark Tide Ruin was incredible. I'm really looking forward to talking about that. Oh, sorry, dudes, I'm falling behind here a little bit. Yeah, where he kidnaps Leia. And a lot of people will use that book and say that's one of the reasons EU is terrible. And they'll say that, like, Han Solo and Leia were written out of character. But the more EU that I read, you learn that, I like to bring up this point, you learn that Han Solo doesn't react kind of rationally when stuff goes bad. Like he has a really hard time when things don't go to plan, and that's when he starts behaving irrationally. As you'll see in New Jedi Order, although that's a bit more, spoilers. Chewie dies. How else is he supposed to react? Which is another novel where people hate on the EU. But Chewie's death, really respectfully done. Died as a hero. A moon. They had to use a moon to take him out. Nothing wrong with it. And the only thing with that is it's pretty much the reason that they nuked the EU when Disney bought it. Well, one of the reasons. Top 3 non-Disney Star Wars content. That's cool. Legend series. Well, yeah, as Dan Blackroyd knows, The Phantom Menace is the only canonical Star Wars content. I like Darksaber for some reason. I am in the minority though. Yeah, I mean, you said that to me when I bought the Callista trilogy. I'm still needing to read that, but a lot of people say that the Children of the Jedi is like they can't get through it. But I feel like I just need to read it for myself. Dave Filoni steals from everything. Yeah, I know you're not a big fan of him either, Rhino. And I think your videos are a big reason where I sort of started to see that, because I didn't watch TCW until lockdown, and I got really sick. Like I got a really terrible, like one of the worst flus I've ever had in my life. And me and my missus watched Clone Wars, and I was like, it's not great, but like I believed all the stuff that like George was a big part of it and stuff, and I was like, right, well, who am I to judge, kind of thing. It's just a kid's cartoon, But the more you learn that what happened, the more you kind of detest it, And I've done videos on my channel where, they're pretty good they're pretty evergreen because I don't talk during them. It's just footage of the behind the scenes, and I just put a little bit of text as to what's kind of going on, like discrediting EU, appealing to George's authority, hiding something from George. A lot of people didn't like those videos because they're big Filoni simps, but whatever. Matt Wilkins liked it, so that's all that matters. Did I even read that? Sorry. Yeah, I did. I hate when people use Dark Empire to call EU trash. Yeah, and I'll always bring up that Dark Empire was the conclusion to the Marvel comics that weren't really brought into canon until later, like aspects of them. It's before Heir of the Empire and continuity was being maintained. So X-Wing books are awesome. Halfway through them now. Yeah, I know you're saving a couple of them, aren't you? Because you've only got a handful left to read. Never heard of these characters. Well, they're not in the Phantom Menace, so it doesn't matter, does it? Is a rat, yeah. What's a Millennium Falcon? I was about to catch you out because the Millennium Falcon's in Revenge of the Sith, isn't it? In the corner of the screen. It doesn't appear in Phantom Menace, so it's irrelevant what the Millennium Falcon is. Who cares? Some of my vids about Lucas and Theory are inspired by those vids of yours where I just use clips and don't say anything. Oh, cheers, dude. Yeah, I think if I want to put something out, like I'll just look through like my sources, because ever since I started doing this, I've got a big stupid folder on my phone full of like EU sources and clips and stuff, and I'll just make a little compilation, and I'll be like, right, I can use this in this way to explain this, and I don't even have to say anything. I can just show the evidence, But people still reject proof when it comes to the like canon and stuff like that in the history of the franchise. I just like pod racing and Thunderbolts. Well, that's all you need. Pod racing's like 70% of that movie, and Thunderbolts is going to be the best thing since Infinity War, right? So yeah, I've got 7 novels left to read before I have read the whole bunch. Nice one. Yeah, like the cool thing for me just coming into the EU is like there's so much new Star Wars for me to get into, and it's exciting. Like before I got into it and learned that continuity played a major role in it, I was not excited for Star Wars. I just had the 6 movies, and I'm not like I did think TCW was okay, although I could see stuff wrong with it. But like for the record, I do not condone that show. It's terrible. It's damaging. It's like Disney Star Wars before Disney Star Wars was a thing. And I can still hear the missus listening to Purist stream with Theory. Wait, am I seeing stuff? I thought I read that you had 8 novels. Oh, it's just 7 novels left. Cool. 7 novels left before I read the whole bunch. That's awesome. And I saw you got a few in the mail the other day. Some hardcovers. If you think about it, Disney really saved Star Wars. Oh yeah, definitely. Star Wars only consisted of one movie, and one novel, the novelization, which expanded upon the Rule of Two and Darth Bane. So Disney just gave us so many more characters, so many more stories. It's never been talked about more. I talked about for the wrong reasons, maybe. Top of the morning, fellas. Oh, there's New York, Florida, man. Good to see you, bud. There's just a bit of a random stream, just killing some time. Pardon me. I hope you're doing good, man. I was asking. Oh, pardon me, too much coffee. I was asking people's favorite EU novels or EU content in general. So let me know if you're into the EU. What's your favorite? Disney gave Star Wars mouth to mouth after having trafficked Star Wars and roofied it. Oh, that's rough. That's quite the illustration. Good illustration, great application. But yeah, it's exciting. Like my issue now is, I want to keep buying new EU novels, but I don't want to have to like ship them all to America when I move, you know. And so I'm thinking if I start with the comics, I can, because I've got that thing you sent me, Steve, where I can read Legacy, and then I want to read all the Republic, like Clone Wars era stuff, and then comic wise, I want to read either Dark Empire or the Tales of the Jedi, which Filoni also stole the title of. And that's the problem with that. Like they take titles from EU projects. So when like when I go and I try and do research for videos, I can't find the good stuff because it's like hidden behind all this Disney stuff, you know. I won't lie, I have no EU knowledge. I got into the anti-shill game mostly because of Marvel, but I'm open for recommendations because I do want to learn the real Star Wars lore. Oh, nice one. Well, you're kind of in the same boat as me, so if you keep coming on the streams, or streams of the other channels that I like to watch, then you'll definitely learn. Like people that are actually passionate about it, you know, and don't just say it was boring and George didn't care. All the different versions of Phantom Menace, just stick with the hardcover. Yeah, I mean, George Lucas's movie was a pretty good adaptation, but just the book's better, eh? What's your favorite EU comic and why is it Dark Empire? Because it was just like the Rise of Palpatine, right? The cloned Emperor and stuff like that. Yoda looked better in the original version of Episode 1. Do you think so? With the puppet? I don't know. I mean, I guess it tied in better with the originals, but then when you go into like Attack of the Clones, where it's CGI, it's like really drastically different. Yeah, I think you're right, but I think for continuity's sake, it ties in better with their other prequels. And Dan Blackwell is going to say prequels singular, which also doesn't make sense because if it was singular, why would it be a prequel? It would just be the movie. Thrawn Trilogy. Oh, some recommendations. We'll read them out. Thrawn Trilogy, Hand of Thrawn Duology, and Survivor's Quest is a good place to start since that's the stuff after Episode 6. Really good audiobooks as well. Nice one. Yeah, the Thrawn Trilogy is always a good place to start. You'll get introduced to some really good characters as well. You're like Mara Jade, who they're going to probably shove into Disney lore soon. Oh yeah, or it really just depends on your, like, do you prefer the original trilogy timeline or the prequel timeline? There's obviously, or you could go even further back to the Old Republic and stuff like that, or even further forward to Legacy, which is like the descendants of Luke Skywalker. George ran out of time to finish the movie, so he just released one prequel. That makes sense. I mean, you were there with him in the beginning, so you would know more about it than me. Would you ever want a release of the OT and how they were released theatrically? Despecialized edition. Well, those do exist, right? I know a lot of people watch them on the despecialized editions. I think Steve has them. It would be because George was continuously changing those movies, like even as they were in theaters, he was changing stuff. So he's been altering them long before the Blu-rays and the special editions and stuff. I've got VHS copies from like 1994, which were like the digitally remastered versions. Plenty of novels, comics in every era. Yeah, I need to get a hold of those. I've still the ones I watch are like I think it's like the 2011 Blu-ray versions. It's just what I've got, so I need to upgrade that. 1999. Oh yeah, when Star Wars began. Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales of Jabba's Palace, and Tales of Bounty Hunters were fun. I kind of hated. New York, Florida man says, I kind of hated the prequels when they came out, but I was a teen. They grew on me over the years. Still, though, I'm a OG trilogy guy overall, if I'm being honest. Nice one. So yeah, you probably enjoy the post Return of the Jedi, or if you read Shadows of the Empire, it takes place between Empire and Jedi. That's a good one. Maybe a good place to start. You'll get some of those like some of that continuity in there. It kind of ties things together and expands on more. So nice one. Oh, that'd be cool. It's just some people have them on like disc though, right? Or do you just watch them online somewhere? I know there's a version from like 2001 that was maybe a better version. We were very secretive and careful of what we let out into the public before '99. We wanted it all to be a surprise. Well, it worked. It definitely worked, Dan Blackroyd. Oh, nice one, dude. Yeah, and don't let it overwhelm you either. There is a lot, but like where's the Steve Kenobi sent me this, and I just printed it out, and this is just the novels really, and I just mark them off when I get them, and it kind of breaks it down for you like it's doable, and you just start from there. It can seem daunting until you kind of just pace yourself. Yeah, I downloaded them, but I think the guy who made them sold them on disc as well at some point. Right? Okay, that makes more sense. Right, dudes. I'm going to have to get started in my morning here, so I'm going to shoot off. I think the missus is done watching the Purist Theory stream. Going to get the day started, and cheers for hanging out, and make sure you check out those recommendations, and when we stream on Monday we can maybe see if you've gotten started or whatever. So you manipulated Scran to waste ink. Yeah. Yeah, I could have just done it on like a screenshot, right? It's all good. Right, dudes, thanks for tuning in. I didn't expect anyone to tune in. It's been fun chatting, and I will see you all later. And as always, long live the expanded universe, and lang may your limbs reek.